weaponize it towards people that with a lifestyle that's different than theirs. They're not. This is not a religious thing. This is just you're a bigot, and you're using your biblical text to support your bigotry. And you can call it whatever you want. You can point to it. You can say, "Hey, the Lord said this." But if the person doesn't read that book and doesn't accept those truth lines, they're not bound by that. And there's a consequence according to the Bible for all of this, right? But that's not for you to do that. And if you really cared about people and you really believe that, hey, that's a sinful life and they're not going to have eternal life, and they would have more blessings if they flee from sin, I think that you would, instead of saying, hey, you're a sinner, I think what you would do is you would probably pull them aside and you would just ask them to learn about the love of Jesus rather than try to communicate to them the scorn.
Yeah, I mean, Rich, you're just as bad as like the people who complain about people not using the right pronouns. You're trying to impose your morality onto other people who do not accept it. So.
Years ago, I had an experience that changed my life. It was a supernatural experience. You could say I saw God, right? God came to me. And I'm not saying this to brag or anything like that, because I've never been a religious person. I always believed in God. I was never a religious person. Then I had some bad injuries. I train every day, twice a day, this kind of thing. And I wasn't able to train for years, many years. And it really has you humble yourself. And so you should kiss the feet of God everywhere you walk. If you're a true, I'm not saying how a Christian should behave, but you should kiss the ground that you walk on, the people that are in your space, and be grateful that you're in their space. And when you come from that place, it's not about giving someone else any power over you, anything like that. If you truly have the power of God with you, you're not worried about anything. You're completely free of fear, right? And all there is love. And nobody can deny that message. And you're not trying to fix anybody by being righteous. You're not going to fix anything, okay? You're going to just speak the word from that place. And that will resonate with the people that were willing to accept it. Everybody else, you leave them the fuck alone.
And Sarah, the other real quick question.
Yeah.
Did Jesus say that you're to go and tell people who are not in the faith that they need to stop their sinning and that they need to come to Christ and his atonement? If not, they will not enter the kingdom of heaven.
Jesus said to go and share the gospel.
Yep.
Yeah, Jesus said to go and share the gospel, which I think is different. The thing of it is, they can share the gospel.
You think that I told her, let it sink in.
Oh, I wasn't listening in time. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to understand it. I mean, it really, for me, I'm okay, but he's in the room, right? I want to know if he understood what I said.
Oh, I don't listen to like spiritualism and stuff.
Spiritualism?
He wasn't listening to listen, Timok. He was listening to speak, waiting to get his agenda pointed out.
Yeah, exactly.
Timok, do you believe that homosexuality is a sin against God?
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, just I'm trying to get context to figure out where you're coming from.
You can take him because he's one of us. He's not here to represent himself.
I'm simply asking you a question for clarification. Do you believe in
No,
homosexuality
you're stuck, my
sin against
You're
God?
stuck. You're stuck.
Hello, moderators.
How do you see that this is not convincing?
You don't want to look at
No, it doesn't matter if it's convincing or if it
You
does
don't
talk
want to
your
look at
sales if they
yourself.
don't accept it.
No,
Hi,
it's
time
not.
out. Rich, Marshall,
When you're
moderators.
engaging,
Wait a minute. Hold on. I just wanted to say one last thing. For me, like, one of the things that I look at in the scripture is how Jesus walked. And I will tell you that in every instance and in every story where Jesus is reaching out to people, he always leads with humility and compassion. And so for me, in my witness and my testimony to people, I always want to lead with humility and compassion. And I don't, like I said, I don't think that pointing out sin in other people's lives is the way to get them to want to hear your story. I think that if you want people to be present and to hear, I mean, that's what Scripture says over and over. Let those who have ears hear. Let them hear the story of the gospel. If you want them to take it seriously, nobody is going to take you seriously when you come at them with condemnation and when you come at them with you.
Not coming at them with
God is beyond right and wrong.
Trying to address her.
The divine is beyond right and wrong. You're stuck in that. You're stuck in right.
No, just telling people the truth, and people don't like.
No, you're stuck in right and wrong.
Hi, moderators. This is Congressman. I'd like to be put in the queue. Thank you.
I conceded the same thing that Serendipity said, that Jesus will not, God will not accept the person who's an adulterer or a fornicator, or a liar, or a murderer. All those people, including the homosexual.
That's wrong. You're about everything.
No, I'm telling people the truth.
You're not talking about what's right about it.
Jesus said the Pharisees are a den of vipers.
You are telling people the truth, but it's not what you say,
But
it's all in
Jesus
how
said,
you say it.
how did Jesus treat the money changers in the temple? Did it say that he got 2 pieces of leather and went and beat them out of the temple?
Most people who sin are not the money changers in the temple, Rich.
Yes, they are.
No,
They're all sinners. Sin is equal, Marshall.
Fine, they're all sinners, but here's the problem. You should, when you share the gospel, hope somebody picks it up and makes that their life.
Well, Jesus says only go to the people who have ears to hear
Hold on.
and eyes to see.
Sales goes, it doesn't work very well when you lead with condemnation.
Marshall, if they tell you to get off your lawn.
Let me finish, bro.
Go ahead, Marshall.
He doesn't know how to do it.
You're straw manning me.
No, I'm not. I'm being honest. If you want anything other than your own self-aggrandizement because you told somebody they were doing something wrong, then you would look at how your words impact these people, because it's not just about you getting a kick off of telling somebody they're a sinner.
It's not a kickoff of telling somebody that they're a sinner. It's coming with the good news. The first words out of Jesus' mouth in the New Testament is repent, for the kingdom of the Lord is at hand.
Yeah. So,
Hold on.
Rich, I gotta tell you, if this is the way that you approach talking to people about the good news, I would imagine you've probably stumbled more people than you've led to Christ. I would imagine. In fact, I can't imagine that this wins anybody. And I think that your understanding of the Bible is childish. And in all the wrong ways of being childish. Are you familiar with Matthew 7:2-5?
I'd have to read it. Can you say it?
Yeah. Judge others by the standard that.
You cut out.
Hi, Timok, and Rich. I'd like to. I've been taking notes on my cell phone. I'd like to read to you some of the notes that I've written on my cell phone, if I may be put in the queue.
Did you catch all that, Rich?
No, you cut out the whole time.
Okay, sorry. So listen. So Matthew 7:2-5. It's referring to you've got to judge people, but you too are going to be judged. It's a reminder that you have to have your house clean before you judge other people. Like the idea that
before you take the speck out of your brother's eye, take the log out of your eye, not being in hypocritical judgment.
So let me ask you this: why are you not talking to people about the sins that you struggle with, and why do you want to focus on? So why do you care about the sins that they struggle with?
I have multiple times. I've literally said that I came right now currently frustration, anger, but I always ask God for forgiveness over it. And that's pretty much it.
How many people do you think you've led to Christ?
How many people have I led to Christ? Probably about a half a dozen.
I got a question.
I would bet you've probably turned off at least twice.
I've got a quick.
Hey, time out.
I mean, if
Time
you're
out.
talking to,
Before
like,
you do any
heretics
questions,
and
I'd like to
atheists,
get put in the
yeah.
queue. Thank you. Sorry, Timok. I'm just asking if I can be put in the queue.
This last one. Rich, what made you compelled to become a man of God, to follow Christianity? What compelled you?
Oh, I mean, the word of God.
Tell me your experience.
Mud sharks prepared into
You gonna crash out, Monica? You gonna crash out?
I'm just enjoying the hypocrisy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the irony, Rich.
Hold on 1 second, Monica.
Hey, Timok, before you ask any more questions, I feel like I'm just going to go ahead and start talking because you gentlemen are no gentlemen. You guys this is a runaround, circle loop you guys are doing. These are the notes I just wrote. This reminds me of a friendly and fun book club discussion. Let's all be at peace now and forever. I have listened with profound respect and conscious awareness, and I would like to use my time to share with you just 60 seconds of Bible flashcards. Before I share, take the deepest breath of the day. Hold for 10 seconds. Release and say, I am a clubhouse flower. To the man who pleases him, God gives wisdom, knowledge, and happiness. The Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. In your strength, I can crush an army. With my God, I can scale any wall. I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence comes my help. My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season and to bless all the work of your hands. Your Father knows the things you have need of before you ask him. Blessed is the man whom God corrects. So do not despise the discipline of the Almighty. Here's what I want you to do, Clubhouse brothers and sisters. Take your everyday, ordinary life. You're sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and using Clown House all day long, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for him.
Yeah, see, hold on, guys. You want me to respond to this?
What I was going to say is, this is why you don't respond to people like Congressman. Because Congressman's not even I know exactly. Congressman is not even a Christian. He's a Taoist.
He's a goofball.
He's a Taoist. He's not even a Christian.
Can I ask just one question? I want to know.
Anybody can ask one question, it's not Rich.
Yeah, I want to speak too. Put me in a queue.
Necro started all this.
There's no queue, Joe. But Congress, I just want to. You were reading a passage clearly when you said acts. Was it AXE or was it ASK? I just want to know.
Well, that's rule number 11. You have to say
Yeah.
X.
Oh, you have to say acts. Oh.
Oh,
Alright.
no, can I jump in real quick? I just have two sentences.
That's my question.
No, you're not quick. I'm speaking.
How long do you have time off for your question?
I have
It's going to be a long
Can I
response.
ask him a question?
Rich.
Very simple question.
I listened to you last night and know your answer, so let me finish. We are called to be disciples, to lead people to Christ, and if they want to come, that's their fucking business.
Exactly. And what do we do if they reject it?
Because, let me finish, you keep interrupting. Is that your mantra?
No, I was adding to what you're saying. I said, what do we do if someone rejects Christ?
Well, I'm going to finish, whether you like it or not. We lead people to Christ, whether they want to come or not. It's their business because they have to love Christ and have a relationship with him. And I don't mean any horny horn dog kind of relationship. I mean, you love him or you don't, and you're a Christian, and if you don't embrace it, that's your life. When you go off and don't you are weird.
You paused for a second. I thought you were done.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well,
Wait, hold on.
We agree.
Hold on. We're gonna let Joby finish, and then I'm gonna speak. Just so everybody feels like they need to jump in. I'm gonna speak.
I'll be short and sweet. The question I always ask people, and you guys have heard it before, whose name do you call when you accidentally drive off a cliff? Because that's your savior. Whoever it is, if it's hell or shit, or most people say, "Oh Lord," and that's what I'm going to do. And if I see you in heaven, yay, hallelujah. And if I don't, I attempted to follow God's will by trying to be a good disciple. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I couldn't stand it.
No, this was great, Joe. Thank you.
Joe made me love you more.
Hold on, I'm gonna jump in, Denver. You can't flirt with her right now. I gotta finish. So, Rich, when you confront people that are homosexual, what is it that you're hoping to get out of that?
I don't confront people that are homosexual. I confront people that are sinners, and I tell them all the things that God's commands that are sins. It states that are sins, and that we should turn away from all those things.
And what is your expectation in communicating that to somebody?
That the kingdom of the Lord is at hand, and repent.
Do you think there might be a better way to maybe get them to embrace Christ? Maybe read them some passages that maybe ask them questions about things that would make them feel good, and then talk to them about the love of Christ. Why wouldn't you leave?
You know, when Jesus returned back to his hometown, he was sitting there and he was declaring himself to be the God. They want to throw him off a ledge. And he doubled down and said, yes, I am your God. He told them very clearly that he is God. He is the anointed one and the Son of God. So he doubled down. So if people don't want to accept it, then that's on them.
Jesus, silly.
Yeah, that was Jesus. And Jesus commands us to do everything in his name, the same as he does.
I have to tell you, if you guys really believe this shit, this is why Christianity is not growing at the same rate that pedophile death cults are getting their numbers. I'm going to be honest about this. Aside from the guy that goes to the fucking funerals, you know, with the signs, I can't think of a worse messenger for Christ that I've ever met. I'm genuinely serious.
What's funny is when you actually look at those numbers of Islam and Christianity, Islam is only growing at the same rate, or if not faster, on the basis of birth rates. But then you have to look at the apostasies. You have to look at the apostates and realize that the majority of Muslims who move to the Western world are leaving Islam just at the same rate as Christianity. And if you actually look at the projections by 2100, Christianity is still ahead. So,
there's a larger percentage of people on planet Earth that are non-religious than any time in human history in 2025.
And the reason million followers of Jesus is
the reason why there's a lower percentage, the reason why the numbers are declining, is because people are turning away. There's a lot of things. There's some people are embracing science, some people just don't believe the truth claims, and then there's people that message this stuff where it sounds very hate-filled. I'll be honest, when I hear you talk about the Bible, it sounds to me it sounds like one of the most unattractive things that I've ever heard. It sounds like a cult leader that's trying to shame people, and that you're looking for the weakest person that might hate themselves just enough to believe your bullshit. Because there's
you would say that as a person who denies Christ.
First of all, I don't know how. Hold on. I don't know how old you are, Rich, but I would imagine that I've spent just as much fucking time in a church that you have. I would imagine that I've read the Bible just as much as you have. Hold on, listen. You reject the truth, and I'm going to tell you what you're rejecting. Yes, you do, because I'm going to tell you, everyone that I've ever met that inspired me, that made me think, you know, like, oh shit, there's something to this. You know what they had in common? They had a genuine love in their heart that you could feel. You didn't even have to fucking hear it. They were the type of people that could walk up alongside you, put their arm on your shoulder, and they didn't have to say a fucking word. You just knew that there was a love that they were trying to communicate. There was none of that coming through with what you're saying.
Yeah, and a lot of the people that came up and made you think about Christianity also told you that all the things that you think are morally acceptable, probably they agreed with and said, you know what, yeah, you're right, we could have transgender pastors and all
Actually,
this kind of stuff.
no, hold on. Let me tell you something. Pastor Dan Larson used to, he moved to Colombia to pray over a water so people could drink it without getting fucking cholera. This is a fucking guy that, like, he didn't sit in a clubhouse bitching at homosexuals.
Wait, why are you talking about a guy that prays on the week? You literally just said you don't like the people who pray on the week. 100,000 people in a crowd in Kenya gave their life to Christ and whatnot.
We're talking about a person that actually walked.
Well, you're saying he's praying on the week.
You're on Clubhouse.
And you're atoning. You're talking about, you're testifying about a guy who prays on the week. You said,
crashing out.
no, I'm not. I'm calling you out.
Yes, you are.
It's not crashing out by calling you out, Roger.
You're crashing out.
You
Can I
just
finish?
said.
Can I
You're constantly interrupting his room. Then you say, oh, he goes into Africa and prays on the week.
May I finish? May I finish, fake Christian?
The most godly person you could testify to is one who you just said prays on the week.
Yeah.
See how that works?
I gotta tell you. First of all. Yeah, hold on. Let me explain this. Pastor Dan Larson, this guy, yeah, he actually believed what he read, and he believed it so much that he fucking moved. He moved to Colombia to pray for people so they didn't die when they were drinking water. You know what? The best that you got, the best that you. I don't know why you're the best that you have is to come on Clubhouse and call out homosexuals. This is fucking weird. This is fucking weird. You're not leading with love. Like, honestly, I don't even believe you're a Christian. I genuinely don't believe you're a Christian. I'm this is the reason why I would never join a church again, is people like you. You cannot expect people to join your fucking your God club if you're not gonna fucking be your God. Like the idea that you're gonna just sit there and say, I'm just sharing the truth and you don't like the truth and you just reject God. I reject the God that you're representing. If God's manifestation in your life is to show no love, no light, no nothing, no positivity, then fuck your God. I want the God that shows love through me. Show me that God. I'll go to that.
Right. He fixates on this homosexual thing. I with all respect,
it sounds like rejection.
Yeah, I had a question if he has ever had those feelings for men, and is so disgusted by that within himself that he's fixated on other people. And maybe he would answer that question.
Yeah.
The other thing is when I had that supernatural experience, right, I got how powerful that was, and how powerful it was, and that when you see a wall open up, and I wasn't on drugs or anything, it was so intentional, it was so powerful that there was nothing I've ever experienced anything near it, right? I realized that what's happening here, it's so tiny compared to what I experienced, right? The power of what I experienced. This is tiny. So whatever he's doing, he's just making what he's making his opinion bigger than God, his own personal opinion.
Yeah.
He's living an idea rather than living the words of God. He's living the idea in his head, through his filter, rather than through.
Yeah, hold on.
He has the right to reply.
We can bring him up, but I just want to say this, that if this is the way that people are going to teach their religion and share it with other people, it's just going to continue to shrink. And if that's what's at the church that he attends, then I'm hoping that it shrinks. I'm hoping it just gets so small that it goes away. This is, it's the craziest thing in the fucking world to join a religion that professes that God loves you and God wants a relationship with you and God wants you to share the good news. And then what you got the marching orders to was to go out and be like, hey faggot, you're not going to heaven. I don't think that shit works, dude. I think it's gross. I think it's super fucking gross. And by the way, if somebody wants to hear my opinions on homosexuality, it's very simple. Consenting adults should be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. And by the way, if the truth claims in the Bible are true, they're going to have to reconcile that themselves with God. They don't have to reconcile that with Rich. Rich, you're not the intermediary between somebody's salvation. And if you care about their fucking salvation, why wouldn't you do something that would get them to lean forward into Christ? Why would you do anything other than make them feel loved?
It seems like 3 or 4 people want to reply before we bring Rich up. I don't want to let that happen because he does tend to interrupt.
Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna default the expertise and moderation to the great Monica, who is, in my opinion, God's greatest.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, and I just want to say, it's just like Rich, he has built an idea that people really hate God, people like myself, because we are critical of Christianity. But I think it's really, I wish people, if there was a creator of the universe, I don't know if there is a God, but I would like to think that, people to think better about that person if there were a creator of the universe, because I highly think it's an insult to the creator of the universe that he would care about the pettiest shit, about two men sleep with each other or in what position they sleep with each other. God created this whole universe, and he cares about the littlest shit. It seems pretty petty to me as a person who doesn't believe in God. And that just to me is you're meaning to tell me that, that's what the creator of the universe cares about. It seems pretty silly.
I think the very biggest mistake that he made was the most powerful way to incite change in anybody is by motivating an internal motivation. So there's the psychology genre for this is called motivational interviewing. We use it for substance abuse, for any type of addictions, and when you're trying to invoke change in somebody, the first thing you want to do is find that internal motivation, and that's the number one way to get somebody to make change. Not attack them, not say negative things, not say anything that would turn them away from you. You want to make an ally. So I think that if you're really trying to be a missionary and bring people to Christ, maybe look into motivational interviewing, because it's the best way to help people make change without feeling like you're just sending them to hell, because I wouldn't listen to that for 2 seconds. And I definitely believe in Christ, but the way that you speak about it, so is ick appropriate? Yeah.
It is appropriate. I agree. And I think that's probably why he sounds like he comes off as a used car salesman. And that's the level of sincerity that I got from his whole.
Okay, so let's do this stuff. We've shit on him, and we're gonna bring him back up. I don't think that, look, if our critique of him is that he's not showing love, I don't think we're going to do any better by not showing him love. I think we've made the point that we
we're showing him love. We're showing him love. That's what he's not.
Well. Here's what I would say. I genuinely hope that the God that he reads about touches his heart and changes the way that he approaches people. That's what I.
100%. 100%.
That's a really fire of a prayer. He's disinclined to join this stage. I think he's had enough of us, so we're gonna let him stay. He's been invited up, but he's disinclined.
But that, Monica, maybe he might answer that one question I asked him, which was, what was his experience and what compelled him to want to follow Jesus? What was it that happened to him? I was just curious about that. Was he willing to answer that?
Maybe he'll answer in the chat.
So now he thinks that everyone on the stage is an atheist. It's amazing. Is there anybody on the stage that's an atheist? Anyone?
I'm agnostic.
So no atheists on the stage. Amazing.
I'm agnostic.
Dolly, have you seen your back channel, the back channel lately?
No, Paco Pete.
Well, yeah,
Mojo, I talked to Aya about game theory, and I don't understand it completely, but I'm fascinated by the name. And he said he'd be willing to do a room replay discussing game theory. Would that be a good conversation for him?
Yeah, I love Eric. I think he's probably the smartest dude on the app, if we're being honest. Yeah, bring him. By the way, I have a lot of interest in that topic. Game theory is something that's pretty fascinating. The first thing that I would want to do is bifurcate the conversation into infinite game theory and finite game theory, because these game theories are quite different from each other. But yeah, we should bring him.
Okay, I'll let him know. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Mojo, I have a question for you.
Why don't you ask me?
Well, first of all, I want to compliment your new PTR. Every day it's getting better. And this is the question I want to ask you. Can you define the variables on Clubhouse in terms of word or communication game theory? Thank you.
Let me think about it. I don't want to just blurt out an answer.
For people on stage or in the audience who may not understand what I'm asking when I say a variable on this app, one could be your PTR. So how many more variables are there on this app? Thank you for consideration of the question I am asking.
Would you agree, Congressman Kitover, that the name Roger Mayhem and the PTR, the classic Roger Mayhem, had more to do with my, I don't know, communication, connecting with larger groups of people than any of the ideas that I ever shared? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the right name and the right PTR. I think bio is unimportant because you can have no bio, or you can have. Remember the old long bios? Do you guys remember those where people would tell you their life story?
Oh no, I feel called out.
Yeah.
That was crazy. People would tell you every fucking trial and tribulation of their fucking life. It was amazing. A lot of people doxed themselves during that era. It was amazing. Monica, do you recall a room in which my microphone stopped working and I couldn't figure out if it was the app or my phone, and you helped me sort that out? Do you remember that?
Recently?
No, this was a long time ago. This was years ago. No?
I'm gonna trust your memory.
Okay. Anyways, the microphone was not working. Actually, I'll back channel you the relevance of why I'm bringing it up. I just thought that
Never mind. I won't mention the rest of it. We'll back chat.
Oh my gosh, what a cliffhanger.
Oh no.
Can I just say something about a former speaker that, this app and listening to conversations. Yes.
You mean Rich?
Yes, listening to people have uncomfortable conversations makes me physically and emotionally uncomfortable. And so when I open up my Bible flashcards and I read them, I am forcing a positive neurolinguistic program through my system straight to you through a social audio app. And I'm just saying that the power to choose that versus having heated conversations which solve nothing other than create emotional turmoil, to me, is a lack of wisdom. But that's my opinion, and I'm just asking you if you think you might agree.
Well, let me ask you this: were you convinced that of the love of Jesus when Rich was harping on homosexuality? Did that bring you closer to Christ?
Well, no, because he is just another guy on a social audio chat app giving his opinion. I know if I want the source, all I have to do is go to the material and contemplate it myself. And, it's not, see, people's opinions here are not true. Silence is a far greater truth than anybody's opinion words that they, information exchange on this app.
Yeah, bars.
Oh, I was just called a Nazi in the back channel.
By who?
She's always recognized these funny things, but
Monica's always catching heat everywhere.
Oh, y'all, I was just called a Nazi in the back channel. Oh, y'all, somebody called me racist. It's okay, it's only Rich, the Christian.
So let me
Why
ask.
did he think you were being a Nazi? What was his evidence of you being a Nazi?
I oppressed him. I moved him down so people could talk.
Invited him up and he declined.
I did.
and the Jesus lover called you a Nazi?
Yeah,
I'm
sometimes it happens.
I would just like to reiterate that Jesus lovers are sinners too.
True.
Yeah.
I was accused of being a Taoist by Rich, and I'm just asking, are there Christians here who think that Jesus also may have been a Taoist?
Or a Buddhist. It's funny about those life after death, right? They come back. The ones that come back, and so many times when they talk, when they experience their experiences, for the most part, they run into either loved ones from the past that have passed on, or they run into angels or ones that are to explain some things and answer questions. And they've said plenty of times that they felt a love so much so that they didn't want to come back. They felt so much love that they didn't want to come back. And that one person I heard, he said that the love he experienced isn't on earth. So as a goal, right, one might have for themselves to develop that love within themselves to impress upon on others that they've never experienced that love before. That would be an amazing goal for Rich.
Well, I just want to ask one more question about, is there a purpose to this room tonight? And I'm looking at the title now. It says, "What is the key to happiness?" And to me, reading is truly far more joyful than listening to heated conversations on a social audio chat app. But I'm just asking, if you agree, because that's my opinion.
I want to read to you a ChatGPT response. I had asked, what would Jesus say about people condemning homosexuals as they're leading to a conversation? And what ChatGPT says is that challenge sin after a connection is made. You should lead with relationship and dignity rather than condemnation. And then it references John 4, Samaritan woman at the well, and Luke 19, Zacharias. And then it says that you don't want to drive the person away. Pretty much the same thing I just told Rich. And then it references John 8, 10 through 11, where it says, woman caught in adultery, neither do I condemn you. Go now and leave your life of sin. So it very specifically says that you should not condemn them. Even if you are going to point out their sin, it shouldn't be in condemnation. It should just be an FYI.
Yeah, it's interesting. I also took the time to ask in Iraq, did Jesus say anything about homosexuality? And they say that the New Testament doesn't record any direct statements from Jesus specifically addressing homosexuality.
Correct. He only, I actually put that in the chat to you, Nico, too, that you were right about that. Paul is the one that addressed sexual immorality. Jesus Christ, in fact, the only thing he condemned was adultery. But, yeah. I don't know, like I said, Jesus lovers are sinners too, and you see that, you see Rick's response a lot, particularly on this app. Even in the Christian rooms, you go in there and it can be a little, well, let's just say they don't lead with humility and compassion, which I think if you want to make a connection with somebody, if you want to make an impression with somebody, you do have to establish that relationship first. You have to meet them where they're at. That's what Jesus did time and time again. He went and met them where they were at. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was gonna say it earlier, but like to me, like I've said before, it's like my main issue is like, you know, people who want to like legislate the law against, you know, the rights of, you know, gay people. I mean, if you people are personally against gay marriage, I mean, that's just a personal opinion, and you know, no, it has anything to do about personal opinion, but you know, who gives a shit in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, that's really to me is the issue mainly is because you have it's one of the things, like I said, conservatives, the main issue I have is not the issues that like, you know, are mostly the ones where they go against their own idea of choice and again of freedom, and when it comes to things like, you know, gay marriage, you know, or when it comes to things like just any other issue that has to do with like personal choice, they try to impose their own morality, and that's when they really begin to lose me. So.
Put in the chat, joy is now. If you want to push it on social audio app, you are wasting your precious energy and personal joy of being in your now. Then I wrote, the problem with this app is the speakers think they can speak for Jesus, and the conflict or debate is a linguistic one-up. Truth would be silence and prayer or asking Jesus for wisdom from his source book.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting though. It's like the only reason I talk about why, you know, Jesus said is because the objection that people make in regards to, you know, things like gay marriage is, you know, talking about what Jesus said, and Jesus was way more explicit about divorce and about greed than he was about gay marriage, and yet, you know, divorce, I mean, the Bible Belt is also called the divorce belt, but people are not as concerned about, you getting rid of divorce for people who are abusing it as they are about gay marriage. And that's the only reason why I bring it up, usually.
Do you think there's a problem with people wanting to have, contiguous conversation where if your last word is gay, do you think it forces the conversation down a road which unfortunately can't be stopped because people are, mimetically connected, linguistically connected to essentially have no juxtaposition or, stoppage in the flow of the thought? And if you do that, you're considered, rude or a bad or, less than eloquent speaker.
Sorry.
Where did Monica go?
I think you
Probably to talk to Rich.
I think you're chasing her off with all your flattery.
Roger. Roger, you sound like a 16-year-old.
Roger, in a room a couple weeks ago, you let slip a secret about, a game you're playing on this app with regards to Monica. I'm just wondering how many people in this room are aware of that game rule.
It's not exactly a game, but like I've told her very directly that it's very fun to have her in the room because she brings a quality that I don't know. Some people like to say that I think she's misunderstood. People like to critique her, and it's easy to gather the haters. And so yes, but she's well aware, by the way, of the fact that I find value in multiple ways of having her in the room.
The rule or the trick that you said you're playing on everybody or the game that you're playing, and now this is not a negative game you're playing, so I don't want to concern anyone in the room. What I'm just saying is that game you're playing, if you were to do that game with everybody, it would yield tremendous results for you personally. Don't you agree? Instead, most people are in terrible conflict with people all the time. Road ragers.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think we should be reaching out to more people on this app, pulling them into the conversation, and trying to have more genuine conversations. I know that you believe that these conversations are a waste of time, but I think there's something that's happening here that we can't really put our finger on. Maybe it's going to pay dividends later. I feel like this app is changing our hearts and our minds. You probably disagree with me.
No, I do believe in a herd psychology on this app, and conditioning is very powerful on this app. When I created the alternative Mojo account or alternative Roger Mayhem account, the conditioning and the response to my presence, was so much fun. So I'm just saying on here you have conditioned people, but on X and other platforms they have yet to have experienced the Mojo experience or the Mojo conditioning.
Yeah, maybe we should expand this stuff too. I want to start doing rooms at the same time that Gary Bumgarner does his rooms, and we'll come up with a name that's the opposite of the critical thinking forum, but we'll just have a little bit of a flavor, and we'll just get a topic.
Yeah, I think it's interesting though. The main reason I put family as the answer is because having a good mother is good key to happiness. So.
Well, a lot of people who do not have good mothers or have had terrible conflict with their mothers, my mother has had terrible conflict with her mother, but, to me, if you don't use books to essentially rationalize and, transcend above a lot of like conditioning or, inappropriate behavior or abuse, things like that, to me, that's the superior way to essentially, improve your life and recondition yourself, for joy and success and health and wealth and love.
But John, what do you think of the argument that some people are afraid to read because it might change their mind and they don't want it changed?
Well, see, if we were to compare that attitude to the average speaker on this app, I was talking to El Normo a couple days ago, and I've thought this before that, the demonstration that I made of reading those Bible flashcards is me showing you, not telling you. And a lot of people are just tellers, they're not showers. So it is a little subjective, objective, where your interpretation is going to conflict with my interpretation or my understanding and comprehension. And we use terms.
So what do you mean you were showing? You were speaking. What do you mean you were showing?
So I could send you the video of me reading that. It's a clip on YouTube. So it's a program. It is a linguistic condition, of wisdom. The point is wisdom is supreme. So if you communicate wisdom and even if you force it, it's still better than having endless conversations and heated debates on a social audio chat app. It's just obvious. It's books. It's the book club.
Didn't answer my question.
Well, I'm trying to show you basically A versus B. And you may not think I answered your question. That's because you just didn't enjoy my response. But that's, not a me problem.
No, not at all. That's not what it is. When you show somebody, right? Okay. So
what I'm trying to say is Rich, the best. I texted him. He texts me and calls me. He called me maybe 10 times yesterday. He just, he's the dopamine creation from this medical device technology company known as
Wait till he calls you about what happened today.
Well, no, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that, some people can't let it go, but if you were to just read Bible flashcards, it resolves all conflicts. To come on here and have nonstop conflicts is not good usage of your brain. It's not smart. It's not intelligent. It's not wise.
Well, we agree about that.
I have been.
Since it's the title of the room, can I share some love abuse?
Oh, do
Please
so.
do. You shared your other type of love last time.
Right. It's going to seem very oxymoronic. Okay, so I was a Christian. I was raised in a Christian home from birth. I went to a private school. And faith I had a very childlike faith. It came very, very easy for me. Call it the influence of my parents, my church, whatever. It just came very, very easy for me. And I was very content to have my happy little relationship with Jesus and know all my childhood Bible stories and sing my hymns on Sundays. Pretty much throughout my entire childhood into my early adult life. And back in 2004, my sister lost her husband and her 3-year-old son and her 8-month-old daughter in a car accident. And I was very, very angry. It was my first crisis in faith. I was really, really ticked off at God. I couldn't understand how he could take her every reason for living away from her. I feared that she committed suicide, like all the worst things in the world. And I can remember being at the funeral, and the pastor from our church came to pay his respects. And, he comes up and he gives me the hug, and, if there's anything we can do for you guys, please let us know, blah, blah, blah. And when he hugged me, I whispered into his ear, I said, look at that coffin. I said, you look at that man holding 2 babies, and you tell me how a merciful God could do something like this. I was really angry. And a little while later, they put us in this little holding room before they walked the family out for the funeral procession. And I just remember thinking, I got to get my sister through this day, and then just one day at a time. I was really, really scared for her. remember they brought my sister in to that room right before they were going to walk us out. And I walked across that room thinking, I just got to hold her up. I just got to get her through this day, you know? And I went over there and I put my arm around her. And the Bible has a verse about a peace that surpasses all understanding. And I would never be able to articulate this in a way that you could understand. But in that instant, I physically felt the presence of the Holy Spirit wrapped around us. And after spending 7 days furious at God and questioning everything, I just knew that we were going to be okay. I didn't know how, but I knew that we were going to be okay. I mean, I physically felt his presence, and I know that sounds crazy, and I know that this is anecdotal. This isn't for the purposes of persuading anybody, but but here's the thing. It always stuck with me. You know, you don't experience something like that, and it not this profoundly changed you, and it did profoundly change me. I suddenly became a reader and a studier of the Word, and just wanting to understand everything in the Bible. And then 20 years later, I wake up one Sunday morning and I hear a nebulizer in the bathroom going, and the light's on, and my husband's not in bed, and I go to open that bathroom door, and literally the instant before I turned that doorknob and opened that door, I felt that same presence, and without having any, I mean, my husband was not sick. He died from an asthma attack. But I knew before I opened that door that my husband was gone. And fair enough, he was, but it was the exact same physical presence as best, I've got you, and this is going to be okay. And like, I knew, you know, so like, that's what the love of Jesus means, is when you are not strong enough to carry on, when you are not capable of carrying those burdens and more, he's there to take them for you. Share my little story.
Yeah, that was.
Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I'm so happy for you, Serendipity. I'm so happy for you. That's, yeah, right? You know, like, that you can get through all that and have that real for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can face anything, you know? And good, you want to say something just really badly right now?
No, you can finish. I just, you know, I'll let you know this. No, mine's different from what you guys are talking about, so.
It's look, it's yeah, because what she said, you know, look, until you experience something that could appear at face value so tragic, right? These things can happen to any of us, right? So for her to have that, her heart being able to be touched that way, to keep her moving through life with that knowingness is really special. I mean,
yeah. I just wanted to say, I've listened to chat a video of, it was an old video, I always remember. It was a minister who punched a kid for Jesus, and it's just so hilarious, him being proud of punching a kid. And I, you know, yeah, it's just funny because he literally says to the kid, I punched him when he was like, he was gone. And he said he let him to
Yeah. I do want to ask a question about homosexuality, if I may, Mr. Mojo. Serendipity, if you could field this question as moderator. It's my belief and opinion that the crucifix symbolically represents a horizontal line and a vertical line. The vertical line would represent what we call the phallus, or maybe the Holy Spirit, or man, and the horizontal line might be represented as a woman. So it would be two genders, man and woman. That's the symbolic, metaphoric opinion that I have about the crucifix. So I'm just asking, if the Bible says, two men having sexual relations is frowned upon, do you think it is the destruction of that beautiful crucifix?
No.
Now, see what she, John, see what she expressed, right? There's no logic there. This is supernatural.
No, that's occult symbolism. It's metaphor.
Right,
okay. I mean, I don't think I'm wrong when I say it's my opinion that it's a metaphor, but I'm just saying that if you break that sacred symbol by having same-sex relations, metaphorically, maybe astrologically, numerically, you are violating what you might call a natural law.
But that's what I was talking about with Rich. That's all in your idea of what it is. That's your idea of what it is. Serendipity actually experienced something supernatural, something godly, Jesus, right? She experienced that. That's not an idea. It's beyond logic.
Well, the thing about Jesus is, did he have an unfair advantage? And the question that I ask you is, do you have an unfair advantage?
It's a choice, right? It's a choice to have an unfair advantage. But you have to first become that.
It's always a choice. I mean, every circumstance of life says to you, the only thing you have control over is how you're going to choose responsibility.
Yes. No, it's like the best. You have guys like Ray Comfort who say that I have a choice as to whether I accept it as evidence that God is real.
I'd say serendipity that you became something big before Jesus showed up, or you told me like, or the first event propelled you into a different way of looking at life, and that made you open for that. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know, you don't go through that kind of grief and it's not have a profound impact on how you live life, And honestly, losing my husband all those years later, that was a whole other kind of grief. It was very different from the first time around. But, I mean, I learned some important things, I watched my sister struggle with alcoholism for a little while. And so, my husband and I, we were never really two drinkers. Two drinkers, I guess. 2 years in July, that kind of thing. But we didn't drink a whole lot. But I saw my sister praying to alcoholism. And so, I just made that conscientious choice. I was like, tonight I'm going to just, go wasted. And then I'm not going to drink for the first year. And I didn't, because at the time I had a 12-year-old little girl who was still at home, and she was watching me to figure out how to navigate this grief. And I didn't want the loss of her daddy, who was her favorite person in the whole wide world, to be a crutch or a reason why she didn't go after what she wanted, because he would have never wanted that for her. So, I had to make a lot of choices about how I was going to respond to it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely where I was that I could have walked a few years ago, where it's because, I could not feel much religious. It happens when you die, because I just simply would say, rot, become fertilizer.
So I'd just like to point the room to the Attention Happiness Survey. What is the key to happiness? Is it your health? Is it your wealth? Is it your family? Or is nobody really happy? We have 34% believe that health. Family is number one at 38%. Health again, 34. Nobody's really happy at 23. And wealth at 7. If you're a new speaker in the room and you want to come up in the muff and come learn the love of Jesus.
Yeah. I wonder, like, when Mojo, when you say nobody's really happy, if you mean the same way, like when you say that altruism really doesn't exist, like the appearance of it does, but like.
Look, it's fleeting. It's fleeting. It's temporary. There's a reason why we say pursuit of happiness. If you caught it, you wouldn't know what to do with it.
See, Necro, I think that, I met this really hot attorney once, and she's sitting in my car, and she's telling me about her work problems, and she says, I feel like the problem is people ask questions. And I thought that was so funny and so profound, because I'm pretty sure she kind of knew what, like, I know, meaning that all the anxiety in the world isn't going to change the future, but the now is all important. So, there was something else I was going to tell you, but anyways, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like I remember when my boss told me today, what I ever tell you, he's like questions are a danger to you and a burden to others.
Wait, what did he say?
He said questions are a danger to you and a burden to others.
So if family is number one, the Hebrew term is Elohim, which is divine family. So, it's not just Jesus, right? Supposedly God the Father, the Holy Spirit, the Trinity. Mojo, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the universe, and I'm talking about the infinite universe, is that technically almost like a machine or some type of God, you might say? Does it take the whole thing to have Earth and this cell phone conversation right now? Is it all one? And is that not the true definition of God, which is O-N-E?
It's an interesting question, and I don't fucking know the answer. I don't think anybody does, but what I'm leaning towards, I can't prove this, but what seems compelling, or at least I like hearing about, is the idea that not only is the universe expanding, like, so you have the Big Bang and then expands, but then after it expands to a certain point, then it's going to bounce back, and it's going to come back, and then it's going to come in tight, and then it'll be another Big Bang. I think that there's a cyclical nature of the universe. This is what I believe. I genuinely believe this. I have nothing more than just the arguments that I've heard made for this resonate with me. It sounds the most plausible that matter explodes, and then the universe expands, and then it reaches its limit, and then it races back and pulls all back together, all matter, and then you have another Big Bang, and you repeat, rinse and repeat.
Don't you think it's interesting that when we communicate and discuss the Big Bang, many of these terms are sexual? I'm just saying there's no coincidences.
Yeah, it's all one. All we need.
So isn't like Neo, for the Matrix, basically that's the one. So if Jesus is, the Neo, these conversations have been happening in Clown House for so long, but they're not new. A lot of this philosophical, esoteric, psychedelic consciousness was settled in the 60s and the 70s. I've listened to countless Timothy Leary lectures, countless Alan Watts lectures. And India, this is the basis of the religion, basically the Big Bang, the Kali Yuga. So America's not unique in its religious philosophy, but in the Constitution it does say in the year of our Lord. So they were Christians. Jesus was their guy. All I'm saying is there's a lot of different Jesuses throughout history. Osiris, all these things are like history regurgitated. And if you build up a library and you read a couple books, you're like, maybe it's not logical or wise for me to get in heated conversations about, wise men, wise women, wisdom, intelligence, knowledge, comprehension. I mean, just eat the meal. Read the book. But I mean, to waste your time, as a listener, it is so uncomfortable to process this stuff, and it's exhausting. And if you are the speaker distributing this exhausting conversation, it's got to be exhausting for you too. So it's not a one-up, it's not strategic, it's not wise. That's all I'm saying.
We need another poll, Mojo.
No, I'm going to post something. It is a new house that is forming that you guys are going to be very excited about.
I kind of pull out like is like would the world be better if more people acted more like Jesus? Because I would like to know what people's reasoning would be, why they would disagree with that.
Well, if they're acting anything like Rich, Raj, you think if you woke up tomorrow, you think you'd wake up as a different person? What do you think it is? You wake up and come in and you guys were right. I'm so sorry. You think that's a possibility?
I just want to say hi to Don.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Everybody, hello.
So, in Hebrew, ruach is breath, and in Latin, it's spiritus. In Hindu or Sanskrit, it's pranayana. So, to me, if you want the breath of life or the Holy Spirit, you gotta breathe. And guess what happens if you stop breathing?
He's another guy that might be good to have a YouTube channel. He's got a lot to talk about. You think about getting a YouTube channel, my friend?
The only reason I would think to go back to the YouTube channel, I'm the guy.
Well, I'm just going to be Congressman now, but that's
Okay, yeah, I'll let you. I believe he has a YouTube channel.
Edgar, why would you think that he was talking to you when he specifically called somebody else out by name?
I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. Anyways,
what he does. Well, you already got a YouTube channel, huh? Congress channel?
Yeah, I've been filming Clown House for close to 6 years, and if you just go through my shorts, you will see so many Clown House conversations that it's unbelievable how I've been able to transfer Clown House directly into YouTube, and the accounts are growing, and it's just fascinating, because I can only stay for like a couple seconds when I watch one of these clips of a YouTube clip of Clown House Run, but the amount that I have put up is truly mind-boggling. It's over 20,000 across YouTube and Instagram. On YouTube, I think it's like near 10,000 plus, and Instagram is close to 10,000 too.
Well, here's the question: how many followers do you have on subscribers?
I think like 2,000 across all the accounts.
You need to work on that. You need to work on that.
Oh, I'm working on it right now. Go to my profile, and then you can get my YouTube link to watch my YouTube account, and you can see Clown House in a retrospective recap. I'm a filmmaker.
You're right here.
I am projecting a future deal with Netflix after having spoken with the beautiful Abby, the world famous Sheldon Adelson lawyer from The Venetian. I hate to spread that gossip, but it's true. And, you know, she has introduced me to a Netflix executive who knew Adams. Anyways, I'm just kidding around, but yeah, that's my YouTube account. You're all on it. Every single one of you. America down there, Randy, Wallace even. Wallace barely speaks. Wallace is one of the best listeners on this app. You know, we have had an awards ceremony, but I'm just wondering, like, if anybody that you know on this app has impressed you with their listening skills.
Alright, get ready for the link.
I just want to ask if anybody watched the video that I put in the link.
What was it?
It was the one about the pastor boasting that he punched a candidate while he was in the ward.
Okay, so I just posted a link above. This is the Rational Discussion Group. It's gonna have rooms at the same time as the Critical Thinking Forum, and we'll use the same room titles that they use at the same time. And yeah, we'll just we're just gonna basically recreate this, and without you know, creating a you will not have to download Facebook.
Yay!
Can we also do like a segment in the Rational Discussion Group where we actually, you know, cross-stream Gary's room? Just not the whole thing, but I'm just saying, like, can we do, you know, snippets where as the super mod and you have sole editorial and, you know, producer, etc., you know, directed, can you say, you know, I'm just saying, can you think, like, every 15 minutes, let's do a, you know, a Gary Baumgarten, you know, love bomb for like 60 seconds.
No, I don't think we're going to do that, but what we might be able to do is get a recording of the same topic, like give you like the best 5 minutes of his room, and then do like a recap show at the end of the week that does a comparative analysis of which room is better. But this room is going to be very serious. I just want to caution you, I'm not even going to be the lead moderator here. Necro, you have to mute your mic. Weird enough. Jesus. This is going to be Anson and Steve Wee. These are kind of exiles that don't get treated properly in Gary's room. And so they don't like the fact that the Trump bashing, the constant Trump bashing. So Anson, who is a very, very interesting fella, he is going to lead these discussions. He's going to assume the Gary role, and I'm going to leave full creative control in Anson's hands. I'm just going to simply be there to kind of help co-host and co-promote. I will defer to his wisdom and let him run the room.
That'll be fun. Looking forward to it. I think he's a great speaker.
Yeah, and the fact that he's so agitated with the other room, it's going to be perfect.
Well, you know, there are clicks on this app, and having had many accounts blocked and deleted because of some of these clicks, you know, I just think that one of the reasons why they may dislike my presence or my activity so much is because my recordings, I think, in a way, document a tendency which is not complimentary. It's not positive, and I think I can prove it by asking them, you know, if time travel was possible, was it worth it? And in hindsight, in retrospect, opportunity cost analysis, I think they would have to agree with my, you know, prognosis, my analysis. It's just my opinion, but if all communication is projection, you know, and I'm reverse engineering over here with my projection right now, I mean, it could be correct. It's just a hypothesis, though, and my opinion.
Congressman Kitover, if you had the ability to utilize software to go through all of these hours of recordings that you have and told it to sort by user and create a best of and a worst of for each user, just like maybe like a 4-minute clip of the best of, who do you think would be the most embarrassed to hear their worst of clip?
I could just give you a list of like the top 10 power users on here who I think would be very embarrassed with their demeanor, their tone, their just personality, and whether or not what they're saying is substantial or actually qualitative or no quantitative type of analysis, and what they say. And I hate to say it, but there are some, I mean, I could give you a list of the top 10 offenders that if you were to sit there and listen to that, this is to me, because I have listened to so much of this, I think I have to like retreat into deep meditation, because 5 years of recording, like I've really implanted it in my brain, and I feel like that's kind of a cop-out, but
so who are some people that if it got out there, if let's just say it went viral and you had hundreds of millions of people viewing it, who would be the most embarrassed hearing their own takes? Why the strongest in the devil rush?
Maybe it's best that I not say anyone, because I have recorded so much. It's up to you, the fan, the critic of my work, to actually go to my YouTube and maybe spend 30 minutes looking at it, because if you don't go to youtube.com/@John_Kitover_Congressman and at least try to find yourself, you're missing out on the fun. I have done a lot of work for you, and Mojo here has confirmed that this valuable service at no cost to you will give you maybe even more dopamine than what you get here.
John, how long, when did you go there? Were you in the beginning?
Yeah, I think November or December of 2019.
Wow, yeah, I was right there, right after. Wow. TV 2020?
No, 2019.
No, he was one, early one.
Well, hold on, but in 2019 November, it wasn't even Clubhouse, it was Talk Desk.
Well, I know my best memory of this
Talk show
is March of 2020, because of the pandemic, and they shut down all the bars in Chicago on St. Patty's Day. And I'm pretty sure before that, I was using it, going into like December of that winter, because I bought a building in December of 2019. And when I got into this building, even prior to that, in my old apartment, my friend Todd, who got me on this app, who owns marijuanadelivery.com, because I sold him marijuanabusiness.com, that was my invite. And he was like, "You got to get on here. I'm literally talking to Elon Musk. I'm listening to Elon Musk." So it's like, oh my God. So he sent me the invite. First, there was a problem with getting that invite from him. Anyways, I'm pretty sure this is like an EOD or a start date.
I think you're talking about 2020 though, because the Elon appearance was right around the end of 2020. Yeah, it was in 2020.
Well, when did the pandemic?
A year off.
Did the?
Well, so it depends on what you mean by when was the pandemic.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah. So the lockdowns started coming, during 2020.
Yeah, you're right.
But they were, but anyways, it would be impressive if you were on here in 2019. It's not that it didn't exist; it just didn't exist as Clubhouse. It was talk show.
So, John, you found how about this character that got people that black mark on? That warning plenty of times. Name the top 3 people that got. What was that black thing that they used to get when they get warnings from Clubhouse? What was that? Like the black mark, right?
The black badge.
Black badge.
Yeah.
That basically meant that 5 people that you were following have that person blocked.
Right. Well, there were Roger, did you have that? Roger, you have that?
Well, it's unique to the person. So a black badge isn't just visible to anyone. It was specific to the people that you follow. If a minimum of 5 of the people that you follow have somebody blocked, then when you go to that person's profile, it would show you the black badge. It might show somebody else not the black badge because the people they're following might not have it blocked.
But it wasn't there. Wasn't Clubhouse giving something like that as a warning? It wasn't just the followers. It was that you got a warning. I'm not saying you specifically, but someone on Clubhouse will get that direct.
No, the black badge was simply a signal giving you a social clue that your friends are saying that this person is bad.
Because this guy, you remember the guy, right? He had that business room with all the freaks in there, claiming this and that.
JT Fox or 10K Cards?
Yeah, that guy. So Congressman John, you've got a lot of clips of that guy, right? Because he
No, I don't have any clips of JT Fox when he was on the set.
I knew it. I knew you wouldn't have for some reason.
See, I've upgraded my filming techniques to use like a lot of tripods, and this is actually more new than compared to what I was doing, was just filming myself interacting with Clownhouse. Now I'm actually filming the screen on a primary cell phone, using an anonymous account, talking to you on a different account. So like my streaming technique has significantly been upgraded and improved. And today I filmed Politically Correct for, 8 hours. Then I filmed Amir's room for a couple hours. Then I'm in here filming. So it's like, this is a lot of fun, but the time that I spent reading the Constitution yesterday across 12 different phones and uploading 120 videos that got 10,000 views, that to me was more personally beneficial than listening to people argue on here about, and die on a hill over some topic.
I think Mojo has a point, and the success of you getting more followers, right? He was saying, get the clips in the top 3 or something like this, right? Right, Roger, I think that's more appealing, because when you start to speak about these 20,000, nobody's going to go and listen to all those, so I think you need to find
Well, I don't think what he needs to do is anything. I think he's already done the service of recording all this. I think someone else should take on a passion project to do something with it and make it actionable and more sortable.
That's what I mean, exactly. What do you think of that? Right, Congress?
Well, I've spent the past 48 hours fully updating every single YouTube profile. There's over 30 YouTube profiles now that are filming and publishing regularly Clubhouse videos. Many videos after you live stream go to private, so you have to build up a queue and then mass change visibility from private to public. And then I have to add those videos to playlists, and then I have to update the description. So none of the titles are dynamic. If you went into every video and looked who the main primary speakers were and put that in a title, you could build a better searchable, index in YouTube. People can file privacy complaints against my work, and if I don't, I have to delete it. Like YouTube has basically a 0% tolerance policy for complaints. And I've had many YouTube accounts get deleted with thousands of videos and years of work. That is very demoralizing. But in every war you lose a pawn. So it is a fun game, but I do think this is just like a linguistic game, and you're all involved in it, whether you know it or not.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, Roger. Finding someone to make a passion project to make these clips. Not everyone, but the top whatever 20, 30, 40. More likely that people will want to click on it. What do you think of that?
To me, the quality sucks. Like, I'm looking at, 15 phones filming this room right now, and it's like, if I was on the receiving end of my live stream, and right now I see no one from this room is actually looking at my live stream, you could give me real-time feedback, but most people don't live in the now.
Yeah, I think that what is needed is somebody that can go through the archives of video with software that can and then go like just
you gotta know what you're looking for, and like, let's say you just came up with, let's say you want to start with one person. That way you can prove it out. You could just say, okay, I'm gonna use the software, I'm gonna go through all these videos, and I'm gonna find the clips of when this person's speaking, and then find, you know, sort it by topic maybe, or just go find the interesting moments, and then you can do like a best of type of video, and then once you did it for one, you can start building, then you do another one, get it up to like, let's say a top 10, and then you can have, you know, videos of like the Clubhouse top 10, and then the best of, and then boom, 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 and then
Parker's greatest hits.
yeah, correct, or I would say Monica's greatest hits, but
See, I don't know if you've interacted with my profiles enough. Like, you're gonna have to spend time and go through all my YouTubes, because every YouTube's a little different.
No, nobody has
And
time for that.
well, see, this is the thing.
John, what I'm saying is I want AI to come through with you give a prompt for what it wants to look
Okay,
for,
so
and then
well, see, anyways, I'm just saying this is like a short-term dopamine solution. I'm not saying that this is some kind of long-term venture, or this is just mere entertainment for short-term fun. So what I'm trying to say is, in YouTube, you know, the way that I use it is I create shorts, which are either 15 seconds or 3 minutes. Those are generally heated conversations when I'm sitting here monitoring and then creating a short. Those are highly edited already. And then the other thing is, when you are live streaming, you can hit what's called a cut. That gives you either a 45-second or a 5-minute cut from the past 5 minutes. I usually cut a lot of rooms after the heated conversation dies down, because it does flow like a pattern, and there are peaks and valleys and peaks and valleys, and so I'm pretty mindful when I'm here, like, okay, that was a good cut, that was a good cut, and I go across all the phones and create the cut. So there's so many videos. It's like 10,000, 20,000 videos on YouTube.
So why haven't you turned this into, I mean, what's the end game? Is it a Clubhouse series with various seasons?
No, I am running for Congress. So all publicity is good publicity and communication, meaning that I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm creating a media business on top of trying to get into Congress. So it's all connected, but the thing is,
Well, wait, how is Clubhouse connected to your campaign and your political?
because you're Americans talking about bullshit. You know, as a leader or a congressperson, you got to have intelligence, and this app proves that there's no intelligence on this app. And so, you know what that indicates? That indicates that probably 80% of Congress is completely incompetent, and there's no real intelligence there or patriotism. Now, you may think patriotism is a mental health disorder to a Democrat or a communist or an anarchist, but to a patriot, you know, the Tao Te Ching says that patriots will rise up in times of emergency. If you don't think $1 trillion in interest annually and, you know, spending $20 billion an hour is insanity, you need to understand optimization and economics. And, you know, Mojo here is an enthusiast of the Mises Institute and other brilliant economists who understand that you can't have a black card and just keep charging it up and, you know, as if reality doesn't exist. So, and plus, there's just a big moral and ethical and DEI problem across. Have you seen some of the judges, you know, that are being relieved of? Anyways, I'm just saying, clown world is real, and I'm sick of it. I am complete.
we have a new title for the room. By the way, if you guys haven't joined the Rational Discussion Group, the link is up above. Thank you. The Rational Discussion Group should not be confused with the Critical Thinking Forum.
What do you think is more fun, having news debates and news conversations, or just having, you know, non-news debates and conversations, and, you know?
I think the debates with people like that are trying to really sell you on the idea of anarchy are fun. I think when somebody takes a really wacky position and they just dig in and they just refuse to yield, no
matter how silly they sound. I think those are the funnest conversations.
Yeah, I tried to do it now. It's just for some reason I can't join.
Do you have anyone in mind, Raj?
What do you mean?
Well, it's like you were thinking about someone while you were talking about that. I said,
I was just kind of throwing it out there. If that caused you to picture somebody in your mind, that's a you thing, not a me thing. So, Necro, what's the message you got when you tried to join?
It just says, like, it's a red bar up on the top of the screen. It just says you can't join this house.
But usually means you have a admin something blocked.
Oh, that means either Anson or Steve, we have you blocked.
Added to the house and then re-added them.
What did I do to piss those people off?
I don't know, probably your insistence on older women probably creeped them out.
Me and my weird fantasies.
for Steve to block you, you must be a douche.
I mean, Steve gave me Casa de Appel literally today. He gave me, he gave me power there, so.
Oh, it's you? You're blocked, Necro?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like Casa de Appel, he gave me the golden key to his house today, so I'd be surprised if he has me blocked.
Well, you've got the wrong Steve. I'm referring to Steve. You're referring to Steve Appel.
Gotcha.
Try now to join because I've removed them as admins. Let's just test this to see if it works.
Yeah, still getting the can't join the house.
That's weird.
Log out and come back in and try to join it to reset it.
Hi, moderators. I think I can maybe help answer this question you have in your title, but I would like to answer it by reading a quick little poem I wrote on my phone.
Yeah, it's still getting the same message.
Wow.
Was he thrown out of the house?
It's a brand new house.
Congressman.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is a brand new house, right, Roger?
Yep, it's brand new.
Yeah, he just made it.
It's brand new.
Yep.
Do you guys like the image on the house? I just created it with ChatGPT. I don't know if it's good or bad, or I'm open to new images for that house.
Yeah, I think it's good.
It works.
Actually, you should just use your profile, Mojo. Condition with the profile.
Yeah, branding.
Yeah, definitely stick to that profile.
Let's zoom right up to the cigar in your mouth.
Your PTR is proof that AI has increased significantly since your former iterative PTR.
John, if you do the poem, take your time, okay? Take your time.
Okay, this is the poem. Observe for yourselves the decay of the sense of sin, the growth of innocence and irresponsibility, the strange modifications of the reproductive instinct with a tendency to become bisexual or epicene, the childlike confidence in progress combined with nightmare fear of catastrophe against which we are yet half unwilling to take precautions. Consider the outcrop of dictatorships, only possible when moral growth is in its earliest stages, and the prevalence of infantile cults like communism, anarchists, fascists, pacifism, health crazes, occultism, and nearly all its forms, religions sentimentalized to the point of practical extinction, Consider the popularity of the cinema, the wireless, clubhouse, the football pools, and guessing competitions, all devices for soothing fractious infants, no seed of purpose in them. Consider sport, the babish enthusiasms and rages which it excites, whole nations disturbed by disputes between boys. Consider war, the atrocities which occur daily and leave us unmoved and hardly worried. We are children.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. You took your time. Took your time. That was
You certainly have a way with words, sir. Sir, I don't know if sometimes I don't know if you're serious or if you're trolling. It doesn't matter. I find you to be a fascinating human. If this so-called political career doesn't pan out, I hope you consider getting into fiction, the world of fiction and nonfiction. At the very least, I hope you have a documentary crew following you around, sir.
Wait, hold on.
A subject and a character.
Oh, John, can you tell them about your plans with Neverending Story? John? Congressman?
He just jumped out the window. What happened? That was his last poem. I'm the last dragon, that's his last poet. I'm just joking.
I used rock imagine and I put an image for rational discussion.
So here's the thing. Never-ending story is one of my faves, so I can't wait to hear what his idea is. Imagine this man is at a loss for words now. He can't even speak. What's going on, Congressman?
So, sorry if I stepped away. It's because I went to the kitchen. But yeah, you can always go on my YouTube live to see if I'm in my office. What did you ask?
Wow. So you have cameras set up in all throughout your house watching you?
John, can you describe to them what you were going to do with Neverending Story?
Yeah, my sister and I were big fans of that film, and I looked up the German book, and you know I've been to a lot of Broadways, and I was an actor in junior high. I played Franklin Delano Roosevelt in my 8th grade play when I was only a 7th grader. But anyways, so you know I've been to Manhattan, and I've been to shows. I'm just like, man, if you could see the Never-Ending Story in Broadway, like wow, I mean that would be a long run, like. And it would be amazing if because I've seen all of those. I'm like, fucking Never Ending Story would be pretty easy based on, but it's not easy. I mean, The Lion King and all those things, they're all amazing, but Never Ending Story has enough characters and enough pre-built-in music and enough in that book to make an amazing, theatrical performance.
So a musical. A never-ending story musical.
Yeah, like people go to Wicked. You could play, the witch in Wicked.
The green one, I hope.
Yeah, I think I saw it. I can't remember, but yeah, I mean, I think that, it is so, it is so exhausting listening to heated conversations. So I hope Rational Discussion Group, because no matter what happens, every room essentially is like a sine wave. It's peaks and valleys, and so de-escalation happens naturally. But I'm just saying that this is what communication is. It's yin and yang. It's the Tao.
Time out, you there?
Yeah, what's going on?
What do you think about this never-ending story, the musical, sir?
I didn't see the movie.
What?
Leave me alone.
My word, time out.
Yeah. I didn't see a lot of stuff. I left Hollywood behind. When I left, I left. Yeah.
I saw a Chinese production called Shenyun. Shenyun! And guess who funds Shenyang? It's the Epoch Times, which is an anti-Chinese, Gazette newspaper, and they published a lot of stuff on RussiaGate and all kinds of other things. A lot of investigative journalism, and they're an independent news agency. They are part of what's called the Falun Dafa. And they basically do Tai Chi outside of federal offices all the time, and they're very pleasant
And
people.
don't they also go to like fairs and like farmers markets and advertise this shit?
Yeah, it's called Falun Gong, and it is a Chinese dissident movement which feels that they were murdered and butchered by the communists, which is true. And these people have serious grievance, but they do it so peacefully and so blissfully that you would think that their grandparents were never murdered. You could call those people anarchists in a way. See, that's why I think listening to people's bad ideas, and hearing how anarchistic they are, how essentially it it's based on violence, or disruption, as opposed to optimization. It is a breaking as opposed to a fixing and amending or a healing. So if you want to have real rational discussion group, essentially it is a psychotherapeutic group, which does healing work, meditation work. But you could claim all communication is meditation. But is to me, all pleasant communication, is the desired state. And as a moderator, because you have that ability to censor, I think, a lot of the problems on this app is not just the speakers, but it's the lack of leadership or moderation, which wants to hear the bang. And, the bang is an epidemic in society. People are on this app road raging. And if they're road raging here, that means that there is a lot of built up anger in society that can explode at any moment. I saw a car accident today. One of the guys in the car got out to beat the shit out of that other guy. And, road rage kills.
Congressman, let me ask you something real quick. Do you think your social experiment with Clubhouse, and your opinion of Clubhouse users and how you use that to, I don't know, navigate this app, tap into rooms, record, etc., is a form of anarchy?
No, because I'm actually agnostic as to every single speaker because I want to like flush my memory of it. And so basically, I don't even want to have the same conversation twice. Filming a lot of conversations basically limit, you don't want to do redundancy in your communication anymore. So to me, the videos that I've created of people speaking, it's gone from my memory. And so, but I just use that as a basis of comparison as opposed to looking around my room and seeing, 1,000 books that I would rather put that information into my brain than have meaningless, endless discourse and rhetoric on this app. But see, the thing is, I wish I could clone myself so I could continue filming it all and like disassociate completely and, charge ahead as a congressman and just read more books, be more. I've done all this for many years. I'm just trying to say that if I'm really running for Congress, so it's like to not have basically a daily to-do list and actually executing. Like today, I got the bank account open. The banker finally opened the stupid campaign to elect John Kitover account. It took her a month, um, but I can start fundraising very soon. So I've had some press on X. I had a big interview slash debate conversation on X with a lot of locals who are interested in GOP politics in the Chicagoland area. So it's just a daily thing. I like it because it's fun. It's content creation. And I think, what's crazy is when you work in the federal government, you can't necessarily do social media. Some people get away with it somehow. People in high up positions in government, then they censor they'll delete their LinkedIn. People post crazy shit that are high up in the government or the military. And my point is that AOC and Mamdani, and countless others who are making a lot of money and sending out a lot of checks and voting on a lot of acts and passing $1 trillion bills. These people are basically social media content creators and spammers. Their intelligence, their position, it's almost all DEI. It's not really based on economic intelligence, philosophy, ethics, or morals. It's more based on branding, modern marketing, that type of communication. So, um, I have to.
Would you say that PTRs are communication?
Yeah, 100%. It's a conditioning, and I really experienced it.
Take a look at mine.
Oh no, I kind of like the white one, to tell you the truth. That one was, yeah. This one is good too. Actually, there's no
I
bad.
was told by I was told by Issa that I need to have a broader chest, more muscles. So this is what ChatGPT gave me.
You should do an Arab or Muslim, and then they'll really come get you.
This is one other suggestion I have for this app, because it might not last forever, but I think an interactive real life experience where you have an auditorium, you sell tickets, and then essentially you live stream Clown House to the audience. And then, you know, basically it's like being a modern day Mozart or director producer. You are literally showing people the insanity of this neural network that's happening in this app and all the communications. And people would just watch this. They might laugh, they might, walk out, but I'm just saying that to film that interactive experience would be like one higher level of what I'm doing now. Maybe it's too much, but it would be fun to do. I just feel like it's a lot of organizing. I don't necessarily want to do it, but I think that would be an awesome film, and I would watch that. I would love to see people experience Clubhouse in a movie theater. I mean, this app doesn't publish anything. Have you seen their X account? It's like a debt. It's like a they don't market anything. It's just empty social media platforms. They don't publish anything. Like, they have their town hall whenever. I mean, I'm just saying that there's no way that this app can really go forward, or maybe even maybe it'll get acquired. But when you hear Paul and uh, Rohan, not Rohan. Who's the security enforcer with the mohawk? What's that guy's name? Joe Armenia, or whatever his name is. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that.
We call him Faggot Joe.
Yeah, I mean, he has deleted a lot of accounts, and I've seen him pop in rooms and like sit in the audience and listen. I mean, I haven't seen him in a while, but like, how is it that the people who own this app and supposedly work on it day to day, like, don't actually use the app? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm sure you got that all documented, right? With the whole fall of Clubhouse and all the shenanigans that happened. That was really disappointing, really disappointing. But being an actor and being in Hollywood for a while, back and forth when I was much younger, and seeing how those people act out there. When I came back and during the pandemic, I'd get on Clubhouse, it was the same kind of people. The same kind of people.
PTR.
Okay, yeah. That will laugh and smile and have something else going on. It's the same one.
We went till 5 o'clock last night.
No, it's not the same one. It went from a tan suit to a white suit. It was a little off-white in the last one. Now it's more snow white.
Mojo, do you realize it was the first room I ever went to bed where the sun was up when I was done using this stupid app, and that was like at 5 something in the morning. I couldn't believe how long I was on this app yesterday.
That way? Yeah.
We're doing big things. This is when what got the room going was serendipity was telling us about her favorite sexual positions. That's what kept her going.
See, I mean, in hindsight, like, I'm really happy I film all this stuff, and I hope people maybe someday in the future they're like, I think people will look back at their experience here. I might look back with shame, but see, the positive optimist in me, and who, I hope, because this is like a very lazy business. You just hit live stream, you hit cut, you hit publish. I'm not doing anything. It's really the network that's involved in the conversation, but by publishing it, like I force people into these other platforms, and like whether you like it or not, like you're in it. So to me, that's like forcing an arrangement which I can't do any other way, only digitally or through these cellular devices and these software programs. Like that to me, like, is going
How
into.
old are you, brother?
I'm 42, but I'm just saying any kind of business where you're like in the gray zone, um, I don't, whatever that means. I'm just saying that to me, what I think I'm doing is, eccentric. I wouldn't, call it brilliant, and I wouldn't call it even intelligent. I would just say I'm using what's available. But I think because life is almost just brains, it's just people. Like everything else, the whole material world is, just stuff. But our little bodies don't take up a whole lot of space. So the fact that I can network in a different alternative way by publishing on many platforms, to me, it's like, you know, I don't know. I'm just doing it. I think it's smart, and I hope it has lasting
No, it's interesting.
effect of some sort.
Yeah, it's interesting because Clubhouse having people from all over the world, right? You're grabbing not just people that are Americans, you're grabbing all kinds of people from all over the place. So that's what's interesting about it. It's got so much depth there.
Yeah, I mean, if like the global communication revolution or global communication network means anything, like this app is, the case study for it, or X Spaces or other global apps. The thing is, though, I have noticed that many rooms with non-native English speakers who tend to dominate the conversation, it's a lot of fun using your words. It's basically an animal chirping or meowing or barking. I mean, we do it for feedback, for pinging. So uh, there's a lot of linguistic and communication like axioms or principles. Noam Chomsky. I had this one book on phonology. To me, it looks like bullshit. All these mathematical equations about linguistic communication, and like turning it into math. In hindsight, I have my doubts about people who put up these crazy math equations, and maybe I know I'm stupid. Like there are really intelligent people out there that truly understand these things and have vast vocabularies with regards to math. But I know I can't create a cell phone. I know I can't create a semiconductor. I know I can't build a house. I know that communication to me is the smartest game I can play.
Roger, you should have him come on your show every once in a while, huh? What do you think?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. You got a specific title for John the Congressman?
You have to understand, up until Clubhouse changed their rules about allowing anonymous accounts that couldn't get kicked out of the room, John was one of the most unliked people on this app. Yeah, he was. And then what I reconciled was the idea that, okay, because he streams the rooms, right? And a lot of people would complain, and they would say, hey, you don't record the rooms, but it's being streamed. What can you do? So then it would be like, okay, we'll just kick him out. And now that you can't kick it out, it's like the app is saying that they want this to happen. So you can't fight reality. Okay, it is what it is. So you just tell people, hey, look, these rooms are going to be streamed. It is what it is. And so, but we tried to fight it. John will tell you, we really tried to fight it.
Yeah, and I fought back a lot. I mean, I've really
Yeah, you
dedicated
did.
an insane amount of time to this app, creating accounts, creating rooms. I love to complain like Monica, but I know how much you love Monica. I love Monica too. Actually, the amazing thing is like when I hear the hate speech stuff and the random usage of profanity and constant random usage of profanity, that to me is just so like mind-numbingly brain damaging that I know that books are my salvation, and a lot of people profess all or nothing positions, but they're not reading to me from a book, And I got to tell you, when I read a book, I am so impressed with how much more intelligent that communication is than what I hear on Clownhouse.
Yeah. Oh, look who's back.
I've always been here.
Oh. So, have you repented, Rich?
No, I doubled down.
Damn.
I love that Monica doesn't know the truth.
Monica, she comes in here just for a second, right? I think she's trying to tease you. Roger, she comes in for a little bit, teases you, and then she runs away like a little girl.
Well, then she goes into other rooms and like espouses like racist ideology, something she hates black people.
Just true.
She does. Wait, you're new to this, right, Tom?
Oh my god.
You
Rich.
know that Monica hates black people?
Rich, let me.
Monica does not hate black people. This is ridiculous.
Okay. She thinks that white people are superior. Sorry.
She hates black people. Yeah. She hates white people too. How about that?
No, she thinks white people are the greatest things to sliced bread.
No. Hold on. I used to have a $500 bounty if anybody could have produced one single instance of a screenshot of something that Monica said that was racist, or an audio clip of her saying something racist. And when I had that $500 bounty, nobody collected it. Nobody collected. In fact, the only person that tried to collect was Hakima, and Hakima, he PTR'd a photo that she had PTR'd, where it was an image of a ghost, and it said, "This is some bullshit." And Hakima said that the ghost with the sheet over it was clearly a reference to the KKK.
Oh, you guys aren't part of the clubhouse or the Chillism Discord, sorry. You guys should see all like the neo-Nazi Twitter propaganda shit that's on there. It's amazing. Mud Shark is because she said about Mud Shark, white women who fuck black people. Yeah, actually, it's I think she's like that trolling, but I think like part of it.
That thing's probably racist.
Richard.
Okay, Dawn, have you not seen Monica play racist shit about us Discord? Or chilling Discord?
Oh, I have not seen.
You haven't seen like the neo-Nazi Twitter accounts that she like puts on Discord? That you click on it and you're like, oh, this is pretty offensive. And then you click on Twitter and you go look through it and it's all like the neo-Nazi propaganda.
No.
Oh, okay.
I really haven't. So
Are you doing the hey, big girls are beautiful thing right now, Dawn?
what does that mean?
That's like where women just like, see for water girl, they're like, she's so pretty.
No.
You just take a walk aside because she has a badge.
Wait, hold on. It's easy to tell people that so-and-so is a racist. It's much more difficult to prove it. Why don't you give your best piece of evidence?
I'm not in the Discord. I believe in Discord.
So what you just said was that you have zero evidence that Monica's a racist.
Anecdotal, that's all.
Raj. What is this gentleman's name?
Oh, Rich.
Is Jesus mine? No.
Yes, it's the same Jesus, man.
He changed. He turned into the other one.
Roger kicked me because I said that I used a different word, and then he kicked me.
No disrespect.
Okay, time out. One of the things that you said that was strawmanning my argument. I never brought up gay people. I said that Necro has a contention with God. He has an argument against God because of God's morality that he imposes upon the world. And Necro doesn't like that God says that you can't be a sinner, you can't be a homosexual, you can't do A, B, and C. And I listed off all the things. And the only thing getting to me this word was, oh, he said gay. But I said he can't be a fornicator, a liar, an adulterer, a murderer,
You know what you need to do? Physical health.
Yeah, all the pro-LGBT people were like, oh, he said gay in there. I said you can't be a sinner and enter the kingdom.
Fun, the way people know how to do fun, right? I don't know if you guys like that, but if you just have fun before you get to battle, it will influence your perception of what you do.
Yeah, this life is fleeting and meaningless in the sense that eternal life is forever. So you're going to live 100, 115 years, that's it. And then you're going to die, you're going to stand before God. God's going to judge. Eternal life is awesome.
Wait, hold on, Doc.
No.
Do you mean just if you're God, or do you just mean in general you shouldn't make laws over subjective opinions?
I think that's a good general rule, not just like only for God. I think nobody should make subjective.
Why do you think, like, do you live in California by chance?
Wait, Paulus, before you answer that question, can I ask you to put me in the queue, please?
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Okay. Do you know this guy?
Yeah, Honey Badger and I, we throw big barbecues. We do full slabs of rib, half pounds of chicken. It's $14.99 plus honey barbecue glaze sauce. You get a free small Miller High Life, and I will personally roll you a little papyrus.
Okay.
Great, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, so do you think that the legal drinking age in your state is objective?
Really good. I think it's based on
welcome to the debate, I guess. Like you see in the room, so I appreciate you being here, my friend. It is a little hard to understand you, but you're welcome to be here and just try to learn what you can. There's a lot of smart people that come in these rooms, so it's good to have you, Abba. Yeah, Chinadu, go ahead and say something that's going to be, yes, go ahead, Chinadu, please. I don't get you.
Well, that person has the power to say, yes, I'll give you the money, or no, I won't. That's the kind of power that Jewish people have.
Who created the bank? Who created the Federal Reserve in 1913?
Well, he is Felicity, but yeah, I don't disagree with your statement. But here's the thing: when you look, nobody likes bad publicity. So when I say they scream and yell, look at Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and those black activists and black political leaders. Where did their club come from? It came from them going to businesses and saying, well, we don't think you're racially sensitive enough. So we have a program that will cost you $1 million and we'll bring in our instructors to make your...
I mean, sorry. If you didn't think theism was true, then you come to believe that it's true. I think if you raise the probability that like also says like theism, you should raise it a bit, but just maybe not significantly. But I think to some extent, yeah, it should come to some evidence.
Oh, nice. So you're agreeing with that, basically?
Yeah. See, Chindu's a noble man. He doesn't destroy everything.
I cannot take you, motherfucker.
Like, you know what? Some of the stuff y'all are saying ain't right. Come up here, Ray Ray. I know you got a 340 verbal IQ, which is higher. He's a straight shooter. You got a higher IQ than Wubby. Wubby's got 170.
I was actually just coming on stage to say I've never met someone as depressed, as kind of chronically online incel as Wubby in a long time. So I'm happy to debate him.
This guy's just projecting because he got exposed for asking a miner for nudes on Discord. What a weirdo. I don't want to talk to him, Andrew. He's a pedophile.
What a chronically online joke to make.
He's just projecting more. Look at him.
Wubby, I can hear in your voice you're unhappy. Talk to me.
In real life, buddy, I would beat your ass.
How much you weigh?
I'm 115 right now.
So if you communicate wisdom, even if you force it, it's still better than having endless conversations.
Anything else there, right?
Yeah, 115 pounds.
Yes, sir.
When I have sex with a 115-pound girl, I'm happy she's getting.
Hi, Andrew. This is Congressman John. If you could put me in the queue, thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. Yes. Ray, what would you like to say to Wubby?
Well, I don't think Wubby's a theist, so I don't really have anything to say to him.
Well, he can own you on moral realism.
He's a Spinoza.
Yeah,
He's a moral realist?
yeah, he is.
Okay, so I guess what is a moral to you, Wubby? What is morality? Yeah, I think morality is just going to be like a set of evaluative facts that are going to be irreducibly normative on my view. But that just means to say that moral facts are true, but they're explained by like a non-cognitivist framework. Can you repeat everything I just said?
Wasn't get the fair shake over there in Gary's room. So this is counter programming. This is like when CBS doesn't like what NBC's do.
Raj, did you say hello to Astro when you went in Steve's room? Cartel?
I did. Yep, I certainly did.
And did he apologize to you? Taking off?
No, he acted like he didn't know who I was.
That's exactly what I thought. Yeah. So you did get it. Yeah. You did get under his skin, though. Yeah. Got it. You got under his skin.
Don, your mic's open. Not sure if you intended that.
Is he? I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You weren't making noise. I just didn't want you to do something like you might have decided to go pleasure yourself, and then we would have been listening in, and I didn't want to be that guy.
I'm putting dinner. I made dinner, and I'm putting the leftovers away. I just finished. So, thanks for telling me.
Yeah. I'm here for you.
John Kitover, the 16th District of Illinois. All debts contract the U.S. Constitution, Section 2 of the United States, Section 1.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get going here. I'm gonna watch some TV, but keep your eyes out. So tomorrow should be the first episode of Rational Discussion Group. I don't know what the title is yet because I don't. Well, actually, hold on. Let me go peek and see if the Critical Thinking Forum has put tomorrow's title up, because all we're gonna do is borrow their title. There's no reason to put a lot more work into this than we need to. So, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see them having a title for tomorrow. We will see. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
Before you go, Raj, I got a question about Hekima. He comes.
That's Hekima.
Hekima. I was gone for like a long time, right? And then I came back and saw you on the app. I said, okay. And that brought me back to that fun time in your rooms, right? And I just fascinated. He comes to the room for hours on it, and he rarely says anything. What do you think? It's background? It's like.
Sometimes he's driving Uber. Sometimes he's got passengers in the car. Other times he doesn't want to jump. Look, people in this room, I don't know what it is. When Hekima speaks, everyone just interrupts him all the time. And he's the most victimized person on this entire app. And again, that's not me saying that. That's Hekima saying it.
U.S. Constitution.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. All right.
Well, guys, I'm going to go watch TV, but I'm going to leave this room open. You guys behave yourselves. And, yeah. Take care.
Okay, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, princess.
Good night.
Need to figure out, right? So once you get that down, then you're gonna find like they really don't turn well. They kind of turn like kind of retarded because the engine is low and in the back, as opposed to in the front. You want the engine in front of your crotch, ideally, and low, not behind. So I actually like went down on one because I was just turning it too hard, like I always do. I just turn too hard, I lose the wheels, it goes flying, whatever. And yeah, so teach yourself on an automatic that's small, and that's a scooter. And then you're gonna get bored of it because they're.
Well, what about mopeds?
Yeah, like a moped. It's the same thing. A moped is a scooter. It's just a small CC, little dinky, whatever. It's like riding a bicycle, but with a.
What about Vespa? Have you been on Vespa?
No,
I don't even know what that is.
I think they're like 12 grand, aren't they?
Yeah, Vespa, they're expensive. Let's just say somebody in my family has like Vespa from like 70s.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And it's still in mint condition. This is how good it is.
Yeah, people think they look cool again. I think they look like little bitch mobiles. I would never spend 12 grand on a scooter that like sucks. I spent 12 grand on a motor.
No, but this one goes up to 100 kilometers or something.
Yeah, so did my little 125cc Honda Vario when I was overseas. That I got for $1,700 new. You know, so yeah, I took it up to 100.
So do you have to put 2-cycle oil, or is it like a 4-cycle?
Fuck, I don't know. I just took it to the mechanic. It was like $20 for a tune-up whenever I wanted to do it. You know, super cheap. But yeah, you learn on that. Or, you know, a lot of people in America, so that's the way people learn in Bali. In America, people learn on dirt bikes, but then still shifting is an issue. But kind of learning on a small CC dirt bike just out in the sand, it's like kind of hard to get hurt. You know, I mean, you can still get hurt. You can still break your leg if you don't fall right. But at least if you're falling in the dirt and there's no cars around, and you're not falling on sharp rocks, like, you should be mostly okay. But I don't know, do you know how to shift? Do you know how to drive like manual? Because that's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, I know how to drive manual.
Okay, well then motorcycle shouldn't be that hard. I mean, it's the same concept. It's just, you know, your hand has the clutch instead of your foot.
Yours.
What? I heard it. They're the biggest ones. That's what I heard. They're the biggest ones. I heard the ones with the longest skirts are the biggest holes, but that's just, I don't know.
I actually heard nurses were the biggest slut.
Yeah, so what about Lauren?
That's like me. I was about to say that ain't what I saw in the movie theater with Boba.
Sure, there's video on that too.
Well, at least I'm not the first lady with my cooch on the internet, so there. All right.
What?
The president's wife got
That's the first lady. Did y'all get to see the cooch? How did it look?
You can go look at the coochie.
Nah, man.
I like it.
I'm not privileged. The first cooch.
Bust it wide open and I tell her bring it back. Hey.
Yo, Dr.
Yeah,
came back and heard the conversation and left again.
Y'all are too tired of us. Oh, man.
Y'all did put late cap conversation, so I mean, and it is late. It's damn near past midnight over here, so I'm just going with my title, Late Night Cap Combo.
So anyway, outside of President Trump, okay, so we found some common ground. We all lost Ontarians.
Yo, Daddy Magas, y'all want me to bring
everybody in the country lost. We all lost. Okay?
Yeah.
So now that we're all losers.
Is there any Magas that we have in the goo? Because I don't even know who's MAGA, who's not. Do y'all know?
No, I don't see any of my peeps on there.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
You guys,
Now you a MAGA. Look at this. You see, yesterday you was a MAGA, then today you say I didn't vote for Trump. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I never voted.
He was.
Years I didn't vote.
Yeah, he's independent too.
You know why you was scared, you stupid.
I've been in Congress for
Sit
years.
your
I don't
sweet ass down somewhere and stop it.
I think you guys need to be a little bit more patient because I've never seen.
You're big Cuban, Dominican, Puerto Rican ass. You don't even know what the fuck you are.
Right.
Every day you claim another country. I heard you Mexican too. This shit is crazy.
I said I was a water Mexican. That was.
What are you?
So there was
You know how Donald Trump, wait. You know how Donald Trump is in Cheetos? What is the flaming hot Cheeto? That's what he is.
I know you had.
Yo, Womack, for real? You with the hat on? Who's the hat in that PTR?
That's me. Well, mother, you another one. You scary as shit too.
You playing, let me see.
You always towing the line and then you